All right, this is my audience here, and here is my introductory speech. All right. Have you ever been hacked on either a social media account or a website, for instance? I have, because when I was younger, on my Instagram account, I accepted a link from someone I didn't know. Maybe this could have been prevented if I had cybersecurity. As someone who manages a social media account and a website for a business like a recreation center, I have knowledge on cybersecurity. Today we're going to learn about some of the topics of cybersecurity, like its origin and how it first started. We're going to learn about how it's used today, and also we're going to learn about the future of cybersecurity. So the history begins back in the 1950s and 60s when the US government was first looking on how that they could transport information seamlessly to each other at other military bases. But the first big form of internet was called ARPANET, and it was used mainly in colleges. And according to a writer at the Congressional Digest, ARPANET was created the foundation upon which today's galactic network, the internet, is built. So basically, ARPANET received a major attack, which was considered the first cybersecurity attack back in the 1970s by a guy named Kevin Mitnick. So Kevin Mitnick, he was about 17 or 18 when he first did this cyber attack, and it just showed how weak the internet actually was. So the cybersecurity started developing afterwards, and still was being developed on the ARPANET at the time, and was eventually gained access by John McAfee, who was considered one of the first people to ever create a cybersecurity application, and it was made for ARPANET. So that brings us to how it's used today. So as cybersecurity was created, it continued to evolve alongside cyber attacks, because cyber attacks are no longer just hackers just hacking into your computer and taking information from you. It can be also websites doing it, or not even people, but just programs doing it. So there exist many forms of cybersecurity, as the internet is bigger than ever. And according to C. Gupta of Mercury Learning Information, the internet represents an insecure channel for exchanging information. Since the internet is so large, there are now multiple types of security available to combat all these other things. Like, there are some that are built into computers, like IPs, for instance, which can help you safely send data from one person to another, and they're called internet protocols, which are just basically a rule set that you can send information to people. Security tokens, which are things like cookies and stuff on websites that help protect, and then the lock icon when you visit a secure website to know that you have no chance of getting phished or hacked. And then there's also things that you can install or you can use that websites would like for you to use, like multi-factor authentication, which you can make 2 different passwords or usernames and passwords, and it just helps you to not get phished as likely to get phished. And then there's also like authenticator apps now where you require either a fingerprint or a face ID, which can help keep your identity secure on the internet and your information secure. So that brings us to how it's going to be used in the future and what the future looks like for cybersecurity. Mainly right now, the future is used to basically just get rid of all the cyber attacks now, and it's also being heavily funded now by different governments, like the Canadian government and the US government still. The future of cybersecurity looks bright as governments are trying to get more involved with the production and just hiring more people in general to help produce these applications. According to Nicholas Rosate of the Mandalorian Law Journal, governments can get more involved and help ensure the protection of electronic information infrastructures to assist federal law enforcement and security agencies in performing their lawful duties. Basically just helps things like government agencies like police departments or things like courthouses or whatever to help secure information to where people can't find out that information that they're holding secure. And also with these new technologies that they're using for their federal agencies, they're also helping with the people as they're making basically the same versions of them, but just smaller and nowhere near as intelligent. So that brings us to the conclusion. In conclusion, cybersecurity is used to prevent most cyber attacks that can harm your technology, which can help you now and in the future. Cyber attacks have always been around since mainly the origin of the internet, and they continue to attack computers to this day. So cybersecurity can prevent these attacks today and in the future. Regardless of how technology evolves, cybersecurity will continue to evolve alongside it.